Using images in your render can improve its quality tremendously. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use images in the most common ways and in some ways you might not have thought of. The first and most common way to use images is as textures. To do this is really simple. Just select your object, then go into the shading tab, then add in a new shader, add in an image texture node, plug in your image to that image texture node, and then plug that into the color, roughness, metallic, normal, etc. With this, you can also add in a mapping and texture coordinate node, which you can then change its position, scale, rotation on the object. Another common way that images are used in renders is as backgrounds. To do this, it's pretty simple. Firstly, in Edit, Preferences, and Add-ons, make sure you have Images as Planes ticked. Then go Shift-A, scroll down to Image, and then add in an image as planes. Then select your background. For me, I'm just using a sky, and then it should go onto the plane. You can then go into the Shading tab and plug in the color output from the image into the emission output on the Principled BSDF. This will just give some emission to all the bright parts and not much to the darker parts. With this strategy as well, you can add in instances from emitter objects, or if you want like a branch with leaves on it, you can have leaves as photos and instance them over branches. Another way to use images is to help you as a reference. There are two ways you can do this, either with the camera or just the image itself. If you want the image to be stuck to the camera, for example, if you're doing a floor plan and you want the camera to just be looking down, all you have to do is select the camera, go down to background images, press add image, and then select your image. This will only show in the viewport and not in the render. The second way, as its standalone reference, is to go Shift A, scroll down to image, and then instead of doing images as planes, do reference. When you use the reference instead of images as planes, the image shows no matter which viewport mode you're in, either rendered, material, solid, or wireframe. The last way, and probably the most niche way, is to use an SVG and then create a 3D logo. To do this, just go File, Import an SVG, then select your SVG, or if you want to, you can just have a black and white image and convert it to an SVG using like an online converter. And then once you've imported that, it will come up as a couple of curves, depending on how many parts you have in it. With these curves, you can scale it up, and then you can convert it to a mesh, which you can then like extrude or just edit yourself. And I find this to be really useful with like complex patterns if you just want to like copy an image and make it 3D. If you want to learn more about textures, check out my video on that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.